Hey, how's it going? My name is Seth. Welcome to my mining series. In today's video, I will show you how to set up PhoenixMiner on Windows 10. We will cover installing PhoenixMiner, configuring it for Ethereum, and overclocking. And before we start, I just want to let you know that I'm on my gaming PC and it has a RX 6800 installed. So the first step will be downloading and installing PhoenixMiner. But before you can download PhoenixMiner, you have to disable virus and threat protection. This is required because mining software is flagged as malware and Windows will delete it. So do this at your own risk, and if you're not comfortable doing this, you probably shouldn't be mining. That being said, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is go to the bottom right of your desktop, click on Show Hidden Icons, and click on the shield. From here, click on Virus and Threat Protection. Then click on Manage Settings under Virus and Threat Protection. Now you want to disable real-time protection, so just turn it off. And as you can see, Windows will give you a notification saying that you turned it off. That's fine. Now next, we want to make a folder where we're going to store the miner. And for me, I put it in Documents, and then I made a mining folder. Now once you've created that folder, you want to go back to Windows Security, scroll down to Exclusions, hit Add or Remove Exclusions, add an exclusion, and click Folder. Now you want to select that folder that you just created, so mine is mining. I'll select it and add it. And that's it. Now you can go back, or now you can go download PhoenixMiner. So to download PhoenixMiner, you can just go on Google and search for PhoenixMiner, and you want to get the link that is from bitcointalk.org. And at the time of this video, the current version is 5.7b. And the most important thing you want to look for is the change notes. And within these change notes, you want to find the line that says added support for AMD Windows drivers, and this one is up to 21.8.1. So that means that you can have 21.8.1 or lower for this version. And for me, if I check which version I have 21.7.2, so I should be good to go. Now all you need to do is click on their download link. So this one takes you to phoenixminer.info. And you want to download the Windows version, which is windows.zip. And then before you open the zip file or anything, you want to move it to the folder that you created. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to paste it in this mining folder that I made. And then now you can go back to the Windows Security and go back, and you can re-enable virus protection. And now all this is going to do is whenever your computer scans for viruses, it's going to ignore your folder. That way it doesn't delete your miner. And then from there, all we got to do is extract it. So I'm going to right click and hit open a new window and just drag the folder over. All right, so step 2 is going to be configuring it, and it's not really that hard. All you have to do is go into the folder, and there's 2 files that we're going to work with, which is the start miner and the config file. So for the start miner, if you right click it and go to edit, this is just a default script that they include, so it's easier for you to get it up and running. And I'm going to be using Ethermine, so I'm in the US, and I'm just going to change this to US1. And then for the second one, I'm just going to put US2. And to find these, you can find them on Ethermine. So next, what you want to do is change your the wallet. So you want to set it to your wallet. I'm going to set it to my wallet. And then you can change the name of the rig, which is this. And I'm just going to name it 6800 rig. And then you just save it. And that's it. So now for me, I need to add some configs. I need, not configs, I need to add some arguments to this config file. And so I'm going to add these, and then I'll tell you a little bit about them and where you can actually find these. So the most important one for me was the CL kernel. If I ran the miner right now without adding this argument, it wouldn't start. It would just keep erroring. It would give me a CL kernel error. So I have to set it to 0 for it to work. And then MI is for mining intensity. The default value is 12, and it goes from 0 to 15, I believe. Anything higher than 6 for me freezes whenever I start the miner, so I leave it at 6. And then this one is a really good one to use. It's the watchdog timer, and so I have it enabled. And then the mode is 2, and what that mode is it restarts the miner. And then I also have it to where it watches for the minimum rig speed of 55. And to find these arguments, all you got to do is go to the stock folder, then go to the arguments HTML file and double click it, and you'll see these. So for example, I have proto, and then I have it set to 3 for Ethermine. And then if you just read through those, and you can choose whatever you want to choose, but these work for me, so I leave them for that. But for one thing that I need to do is, if you look up R mode, I have mine set to 2, and what it does is it reboots, and it'll shut down the miner, and it'll execute reboot.bat, which I don't have a reboot.bat in here. So all I'm going to do is copy my start miner and rename it to reboot. And that's pretty much it for installing and configuring. So now let's run the miner just to get a baseline and see. Well, let me save this first to see what values we get. I'm gonna let it run for a minute or two so it can stabilize. All right, and as you can see, I'm getting about 56 mega hash at 183 watts. And that's no overclocks at all, just stock straight out the box. So now step 3 would be overclocking. So to overclock, we need to stop the miner. So I'm going to stop it. If you click on it and hit Control C, it'll quit. And then just hit Y for terminate. And yes, I mean an enter. All right, so with AMD, it's really easy to overclock. All you have to do is go into the Radeon software, then go to the Performance tab, then go to the Tuning tab, and here you can just change the tuning control to manual. And this is where you do your overclocks. So I'm going to enable the GPU tuning. I'm going to enable the advanced control. And these values that I'm going to enter are the ones that work for my card. So you might have to tinker with yours until you find good values, but again, mine is a 6800 and these are what works for me. So for the max frequency, I'm going to put it at 1150. For the min, I don't touch it. Voltage, I'm just going to drop it all the way down. And for the regular BIOS, it is set at 793. That's as low as it will go. So that's what I'm going to put. Then I'm going to enable the VRM tuning or VRAM tuning. I'm going to change the memory timing to fast. Advanced control I'm going to enable, and I'm going to set the frequency to 2120. I don't touch the power. And then I'm going to enable the fan tuning. I'm going to disable 0 RPM. I'm going to slide the max fan speed to 100. I'm going to apply. And then I'm going to enable the advanced control. And I'm going to set the fan curve just the way I like it. And I'm going to hit apply. And then from here, what you can do to save yourself some time is at the top, hit this save profile. And I have saved a few, so I'm just going to override one, save it. And now whenever you restart your computer, or say you want to disable the overclocks, all you got to do is hit automatic and then change this to default. But then say you want to go back and mine again, so you want to enable your overclocks, you just go to manual and then you hit the load profile instead of save and click whichever your profile is, and then it'll change everything back to what you had it. And so now with it overclocked, let's run the miner again and see what difference it makes. And again, I'm going to let it run for a minute or two to stabilize. All right, and as you can see, we're getting about 58 mega hash at 130 watts. And that's just with basic overclocking, nothing special. So there is one more step that I'd like to show you, but it's more of an optional step for better efficiency while mining. And I'm going to show you that now. So again, we got to stop the miner. So Control C quits. Then you just type Y, hit enter. So for this step, you're going to need 2 programs. But before, I'm just going to set my overclocks back to default and then close this. So you're going to need 2 programs. One is called MorePowerTool. And if you Google that, MorePowerTool, you want to get it from Igor's lab. And I'm going to click on this red BIOS editor and MorePowerTool link. And if you change this to download and instructions, and if you scroll down, you'll get the download link, which is 1.3.5 is the newest one. So you just hit the download. Keep. And I already installed it. So I have it right here installed. You can just install that. And then the second tool you need is called AMD VB Flash. And you can get that from Tech Power Up. The newest version is 3.2. I'll download it. And then I'm going to cut this and paste it in the same mining folder just so they're in the same spot. And then I'm just going to extract it. So what we're going to do is dump the BIOS of our card and then use that MorePowerTool program to change the max or the min voltage to a lower voltage instead of 793. So to do that, after you extracted this AMD VB Flash, you want to run the driver installer. And then here, you want to type I to install it. And then if it's successful, you just click any key, press any key and it'll exit. Then you want to run the Flash Windows utility. And here it automatically detected my 6800, and I'm just going to save it. So this is dumping the BIOS. And I'm going to name it, I'm going to save it in here, and I'm going to name it whatever the current VBIOS is. So 113-D4120900-101. You can name this whatever you want, but just add ROM at the end. .rom and save it. And then wait for it to tell you that it's saved. And then you can exit this. Now you want to open the driver installer once again. And you want to press U this time to uninstall it. And then press any button to continue. And that's all you need that Flash utility for, just to dump it. Now we can open our MorePowerTool. Select your graphics card. So mine's the 6800. Go to load. You want to load the BIOS dump that you just dumped. Open it. And now from here, you can customize the BIOS. But all I'm going to do is go to power and voltage. And so the 793, we're going to change it. I'm going to change it to 650. I think the lowest you can go is like 612. But when I drop it to 612, my card crashes a lot. So you might have to experiment with this value, but just don't go lower than 612. I'm going to leave mine at 650 and I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it as the same name, just without the ROM at the end. And so now the ROM or the MPT file is the one that's edited. The ROM is still your default BIOS, but from here, all you got to do is hit write SPPT. And then now it wrote all the new values, which are all the original values besides the 650. And that's pretty much all you got to do. Now you just have to restart your computer. But if you want to get this back to default, all you have to do is hit delete SPPT and then restart your computer. So I already wrote it. Now I'm going to restart my computer and I'll be right back. All right, so I just restarted my computer and I'm back. Now what we want to do is set our overclocks again. So I'm going to go to the Radeon software. I'm going to go performance, manual, and I'm just going to load the profile that I saved. But now, as you can see, my voltage, I can lower even more. So I'm going to put it at 650 and I'm going to apply it, save it. And now let's run the miner and see what difference it makes. But just keep in mind that I'm recording while running the miner, so my mega hash will be off by maybe 1 or 2, sometimes 3, 4, 5, but I'm just going to let it run for a minute or two again to let it stabilize. All right, and as you can see, I'm getting about 59 mega hash a second, and it's only at 113 watts. So doing the using using MorePowerTool allowed us to get a higher efficiency with this card. And if I wasn't recording right now, I would be getting around 61.5 mega hash per second at the same like 113, 114 watts. So it makes a big difference by lowering the max or the minimum voltage from 793 to 650. And that's pretty much it. It's really that simple to install PhoenixMiner and get it running and getting it optimized. You just have to tinker with your overclocks and maybe with the config arguments. But once you have them set, you don't have to change them and you'll be good to go. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to try to help you out. And I'm going to continue this series on a few other programs. So if you'd like to see those, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell notification so that you don't miss out. And let me just show you the rig up and running. Hopefully it's running. Go to mine.org. I'll put in my mining address. And I have 2 active workers. One is my 3080 rig. And then this one is my 6800 rig. As you can see, it's doing 58.6 mega hash at 114 watts. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.